What's up guys? Today is a very sad day because it is the final recap of the Maia Chess Open. I have now played all 9 rounds. This is actually the first time I've ever played 9 rounds in a row. I usually take a bye because usually there's a double round day and then I take a bye, so I only have to play 1 round a day. So this is a long tournament for me because I've actually played every game, which I know is the standard, but this is an endurance event. Like, people who are doing this regularly, I don't see how you're not exhausted all the time. Today I was playing my youngest opponent yet. He was 11 years old. I have the black pieces and I saw that my opponent was having a bit of a strange tournament. Like, he had drawn with a 2100 but like lost to a 1500 or something like this, and so I really didn't know what the game would be like, and I also couldn't find his online accounts, so there was only stuff from when he was like 8 years old. But as it turns out, he does play what he played then, and he played this. Those of you who have loyally watched all of my recaps, you know how I feel about this now. You know how I've been feeling. And because I kind of knew that he might play this, my coach and I talked late last night about maybe I would play something else. Like, what if I played the Scandi? What if I played E5? But it's a morning round and I have like 10 minutes to prep when I wake up. And I still didn't get to bed until like 1 AM. Then I was up at 7. So I played the French. I played this, but I just didn't play the winner. I played knight f6 because I asked Mr. Dodgy this morning and he said that if he could get this position every time, he would always play the French. And so I was like, well, why have I been playing the winnower if the Steinitz variation is so fun? It was not fun. My opponent knew it better than me. This is all normal stuff. This looks very like normal French. It's much more in line with like the French than the winnower. The winnower is some crazy something else. And so here I had seen the move was a6 and here I had seen b5. So this was my prep. My prep extended to move 8. And it extended to move 8 because honestly I didn't think that my opponent would play every stockfish move, but he did, because apparently he's just booked up on every opening, not just the ones that I play, because I've never played this in my life, so there's no way he could have possibly prepared it for me. It's just he's prepared it at some other time and remembers it because he's a child and his brain is spongy and it remembers things. So he played takes here, and here you can either capture with the knight or the bishop. If you capture with the knight, then there is queen to f2 and white has pressure and black is worse. I didn't really figure that out, but I just figured that the queen that the taking with the bishop was better. What I had seen was if knight takes, then maybe like knight here and then something with the queen at some point. I vaguely saw queen stuff, kind of. And then after takes queen to f2. I'm guessing this is normal, but I have never played this opening before in my life. Yes, this has been played, this is in the chess.com database 402 times, but I didn't know that. And so here I didn't know that queen b6 was the move because it's a self pin and that usually is unappealing, but Mr. Dodgy after the game pointed out that you always have knight d7, but knight d7 is an undeveloping move. Like, it's not, I think unless you've seen knight d7 or looked at this opening, then you're not going to play it. Like, yes, the knight can maybe come up to c4 at some point, but it's not even an outpost. Like, this wasn't clear to me. I also looked at queen to e7 in this position, which has also been played. I didn't play either of those because I didn't think they were that good, and instead I played a worse move. But I was very tired. In my defense, it's the end of the tournament. Mr. Dodgy had told me that we would both blunder probably, and I blundered. My opponent played at 94% accuracy, so knight e4 is +1. What I had seen was after takes and something like this that I had queen here, and I thought that taking was like quite necessary, but then I saw that there was castles and I wasn't sure now after like this if there was like this, but apparently there's a better move for black in this position. The better move being what, stockfish? Just e3. Oh yeah, I did look at e3. I looked at e3 and then I didn't look at knight to f3 because that seemed, I looked at this move, but just e2. For some reason, I hadn't seen that was a fork, but this makes sense. Takes. I guess my opponent saw this. I don't know. The point is that the knight doesn't get back out. Okay, the knight is stuck. That's really interesting. That's very stockfishy. I didn't see that. But yeah, I thought that this was fine for white, and it is fine for white. It's like equal. But my opponent played c3, which is the top engine move. And I just didn't even think that it was that good. I didn't see it. I didn't even calculate it, because here I just thought, you know, e3. Which is the best move. And I thought that after this trade, I would just be happy because, okay, I don't have my pawn, but I was hoping that my bishop would be good on the light squares and that I would just be happy. But actually I thought after knight e4, the knight's coming to d6, and I was quite unhappy about that. And I thought that castles was bad. It's not. It's the best move, but I thought it was bad because I thought essentially that there was like rook d1 and knight f5, and I thought that there was just like g4. And then I thought I have to come back and then like something like this, or just bishop here, or I'm not sure. It's +1, as you can see. White is just a little bit happier. So I didn't really see the point in castling here. But here there is actually a different move that I'm supposed to play. After knight f5, g4, I did calculate this, bishop b7. And I saw that after bishop g2, that I still have to move the knight. Except I don't. Apparently there's just rook c8. And if they take, I play rook c2. It's a pretty crazy line. I would take here, and then if they take, I take the rook. This is like 5 moves in advance or something. I didn't see this. I'm tired. It's the end of the tournament. Rook c8 is a really hard move to find. It's not an easy move to find at all, but just everything else and black is worse. So because I hadn't seen rook c8, I didn't play castles because it didn't seem to make sense, because I did not find a solution to g4. And because I didn't find a solution to g4, I think my move that I played is much more understandable. I played h5. So I played h5, which preempts g4, and I basically thought that anything he goes for, I can just eventually put the knight here on f5 and we'll trade knights. So I allowed the check because I didn't think it was that big of a deal. He didn't take my bishop. I really just thought he was going to take the bishop, but apparently I'm just happy if he takes the bishop. And I guess it's because, I don't know, knight c2. I don't know. I thought knight c2 looked risky. I just completely misevaluated this because I didn't realize how strong this knight was going to be, because I thought I was always going to be able to trade it off or undermine with f6. But I was wrong. So after bishop d3, I was like, oh, he's not taking my bishop. I guess I should save the bishop. So bishop d7. I also considered just like g6, but it's too slow. You know, obviously too slow. So bishop d7 and a bishop to e4. And I thought that bishop c6 was not possible, and I'm right that it's not possible. After takes rook c1, I saw this. This looked terrifying because something like king d7 and then the other rook just comes here, and I think we're completely lost. So I did see this, thankfully, and I played rook a7. But as you can see, white's moves are very easy and black's moves are not, which is just like what happened yesterday, but unfortunately this time I'm playing the one that doesn't have the easy colors. So just bringing the rooks, I finally am here trying to undermine the knight, and rook to d1 with a tempo on the knight. I capture, which temporarily defends the knight, captures, and then rook f8 check. So actually, after I had gone into this worst line, I played pretty much perfect. Like, I also played at 90% accuracy. My opponent played at like 93 or 94% accuracy. But I just messed up in the opening. I didn't know that knight e4 was something I had to wait to do. I didn't know that I had to play queen b6, and that's my problem for not knowing the opening well enough. And not seeing that crazy line with rook c8 earlier. But once we got here, I played like pretty well. Obviously, you have to play knight f5 or you just lose the piece. And again, I just completely misevaluated this position. Like, I thought that he would trade the knights, but his knight is obviously much better. But I thought that he would trade the knights for the reason that I thought it would just like open up his rooks and then he could like bring a rook here or something. But he wanted to keep the knight there, and it was a really good choice. And I was miserable for the whole game. He brings the king here. Okay, I have the opportunity for it to only be +1 if I play g5 check and sack the pawn. Yeah, that's very easy to find. This is a cool idea though. And I get activity for the rook. I didn't see this during the game, obviously. So otherwise I would have played it. But here, yes, it's like just about +1. And I should have played that, but I didn't see it. Here I played just king e6 because I thought maybe I can try to activate the king was bad call. Apparently, bad call. And now my opponent has taken away the option to play g5. So I play a5 because I actually have very, very few moves available to me. He is activating his rooks. I am trying not to lose my pawns. And you can just see that white has like a very happy advantage of +2. Honestly, this was a really miserable endgame to play. Obviously, white just has all of the activity, and my opponent has all the time in the world to play it because he has an hour and 10 minutes on his clock. He has used literally no time, and so he just has the easiest time in the world. And I am very, very low on good moves. Like, I just don't really have good moves. Like, it's recommending bishop a4. Like, that's how bad my position is. This is my recommended move, and then I just lose a tempo for free. Yeah, there are very, very few moves for black to play in this position. So I brought the rook, he brought the knight back, and I really wasn't sure if there was anything I could do here that it's like just not lost. But my opponent just steadily improved the position, and I actually saw rook d6 check, but I missed rook f6 check, which was a problem. And here it's already game over because we are losing the pawn and there is just nothing to be done. Here I wasn't going to take, but then I thought he had mate threats. I had like 5 minutes and I took, and then he just wins a piece. He played every best move. The only best move he didn't play was when he allowed g5 check. That was my only chance in this ending. So my opponent literally did play like stockfish today, which is very interesting because he literally lost to a 1500. But I guess I just need to get good. It's a me problem. Maybe he is just like an expert in the French or an endgame expert. Yeah, so I missed this g5 check, which is very interesting. Honestly, not that intuitive. Here I would have king 2e6, cutting off the king. That's actually really nice. If he had played king h5 and then his king is locked out for the whole game, that's actually a really cool idea. But yeah, this was the one like creative idea in the endgame that I missed that would have given me chances. But I wasn't even sure if I had missed a creative idea. I wasn't even sure if I was just dead lost going into the ending. Like, I found it really hard to evaluate after we had traded the queens and then I decided not to castle. Like, in the endgame, you don't always want your king castled. You want an active king, and I thought that if I castled, my king would be less active. And I wasn't sure if I should have tried to give the bishop or not, because usually the bishop is the better piece in these endings. Like, not mine, my bishop sucked, but I thought my opponent's bishop was actually good, especially because it can sit on f3, but he kept the knight and the knight was actually really strong. And he just played a perfect endgame, so good for him. He's 11 years old. I'm sure he will become a very strong chess player. He already is a good chess player. He was like 1100 2 years ago, so 700 points increase in 2 years. Can't relate to that. But yeah, that's my last game. Sorry, it's a bit anticlimactic. I just couldn't face another winnower, but playing an opening I didn't know was obviously not the way forward either. And I guess that it's just been a bit of a reality check that I should know classical main lines. But honestly, I've never had this many knight c3 Frenches in my life. It hasn't really presented itself as a problem before this tournament. I still did pretty well in the tournament considering I faced this 3 times this tournament. So if I hadn't, then maybe I would have done even better, because this is clearly my weakest opening. Thank you so much to those of you who have watched these recaps in full. If you're new here, I really hope that you enjoyed them. Welcome. I do stream on Twitch, so if you want to hang out with me more, that's where I'm going to be. I want to do more YouTube videos, but I don't know what you guys want, honestly, because I'm probably not going to be playing another classical tournament for a few months at least. So please let me know any other YouTube video ideas that you would like to see from me, because I only want to make the videos that you guys actually want to watch. So that's very helpful for me. I do finish this tournament gaining rating, so let me just check. Okay, it doesn't say. Great. The closing ceremony is meant to start in 10 minutes, but there are still games going on, so clearly that's not going to happen. So before this game, I was winning 28.6 points. After this game, I'm guessing I'll be winning maybe like 20. I'll be disappointed if it's less, because Feels mean to lose more than 8 points from losing to someone 200 points higher rated, but okay. I don't really know how the FIDE system works. Regardless, it's a good tournament for me. I have a good result, and it's my first time gaining rating in a tournament in a long time. So that's nice, because there were people being quite mean, saying that I was just losing rating like every time, and that I had an inflated FIDE rating, which clearly isn't true to the haters out there. If you have been hate watching these recaps, then stay mad, I guess. Anyway, I really did enjoy a lot of the games this tournament. I enjoyed coming back to classical chess. It is very stressful and tiring, and I guess something that I find psychologically incredibly draining, but it helps actually to share the experience with you guys, because otherwise it feels quite a lonely journey, and now it doesn't. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment telling me what kind of YouTube videos you would like to see, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.